Morning, guys. Today is Tuesday. Sorry for not putting a video out yesterday, but my kids were sick. Well, at least one of them, Ryland, was sick on Sunday, and so they couldn't go to the babysitters yesterday. So I got to spend the day with them. It was kind of nice. I think they were fine. At least they didn't act sick. We did make it up to the John Deere dealer and pick up those parts that I had ordered a week ago. So that was good. Anyway, back to the farm today. I am spending a little bit of time here this morning doing some computer work, catching up on some stuff. It's middle of December, and it's that time of year where we've got to make sure that all of our book work is up to date. Everything's, accurate as close as we can be and stuff. And so our accountant, who is actually an uncle of mine, does all of our record keeping stuff, book work. He has been asking me for yield totals and production stuff for a week or so here, so I'm trying to get those numbers together. Here, I'll show you what I'm doing a little bit, I guess. So if you go back to some of my harvest videos, you'll know that we keep pretty detailed records on every semi-load that comes into our grain bins. Basically, we write down what truck it is, the moisture, and then so we've got a record of every truckload that comes in. Well, the grain cart keeps a record over here of the weight on each one of those trucks. Basically the load, so I gotta do a little bit of math and stuff. And so I'm taking the weights from all of those trucks, entering them into this spreadsheet, which I've got most of them, but there are a few that I'm missing, like here. And so I'm filling that in, and then I've got this spreadsheet set to convert each truckload into how many dry bushels were on it, which is this column, and then I can add up the total bushels from each field from there. So that's what I'm working on, just making sure that this spreadsheet's got all of the weight totals in it so that I can get a accurate sense of how many bushels, dry bushels that we have in the grain bins and we've hauled out and stuff. I do have this data from the combine, but the reason we got to scale on the grain cart this year was to be able to double check that and see how close that the combine is to what we think is more accurate with the scales on the grain cart. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time here working on that this morning, and then this afternoon or later this morning I'm going to work on the combine. Probably not going to power wash today because it's what do we got, 27 degrees outside, and it's actually snowing a little bit. It's windy, so I'm not going to power wash outside. I may get the hose out and wash inside a little bit, but I've also got some stuff that I need to tear apart on it yet, start fixing. So we'll see. Maybe we'll do that. All right, got the paperwork done, at least for now. I still have a lot of stuff that I need to do, but we'll call it good for today because I got what I needed done there. So I'm going to work on this combine for a little bit. First thing I'm going to do is take apart that idler sprocket up there. Remember I showed you in the video a couple weeks ago or a week ago that it was bent a little bit, so I've got a new one. It's in the parts that I got yesterday, so I'm going to take that apart. We got to take this big long chain off, loosen the bolts up on that thing, and then shouldn't be too bad to get apart, so we'll start there. Chain's off and that tensioner is off. Wasn't too hard to do. Pieces are right here, I think, most of them. So this piece here is bent. In fact, I'll get the new one and compare. Okay, well, it turns out the one part that they didn't put in this box when I picked the parts up yesterday is that yoke that holds this. So I can't compare it to a new one because I don't have it yet. It's sitting at the dealer now. Apparently it came in this morning. But while I was going through this, I pulled out the new sprocket, and it's a little different than this one. This one, the new one, has 21 teeth, and this one has 19, and so it's a little bit bigger diameter. And I'm not sure if it's supposed to be that way or not, so I called up to the dealer just to make sure that they had this piece. And then I asked about this, and they said, well, we'll order another one and see if it comes the same, because the parts person there sort of thought that maybe the sticker on this is wrong and it's not actually the right part. So I think it'll work, but I'll let them get another one and we'll compare it. So I guess that project is on hold. I'll find something else to work on. Okay, so something that I kind of alluded to in an earlier video was that this combine has to go back up to our dealer here this winter. So back when we were combining wheat this summer, before I was making these videos, Dad was running the combine one day and I was running the grain cart, and all of a sudden I noticed some dust kind of spraying up in the air up there above the engine compartment. Well, there's not usually dust there, and so I thought, oh, that looks weird. And so I got Dad to stop, and we got out and started looking at stuff. And up here, let me open this up real quick. So this is the engine compartment, and there's a hose right here. And there was a little slice in this hose, about like that, and it was shooting antifreeze up in the air. No big deal, right? Just replace that little hose, and we'll be good. Except the problem was, when I took this hose off, there was oil that came out. Now, oil in your antifreeze is not a good thing. It's better than antifreeze in your oil, but still not good. So I called the John Deere dealer and did a little research and digging. Turns out these 13.5 liter John Deere engines that they put in the big combines and the big tractors have some head gasket issues. It's a known problem. They have what they call a PIP, a product improvement program, basically to fix them, but it's a fix as fail. So after we got done with wheat harvest, the combine went up there and they cleaned everything out. We're talking to John Deere about getting that fix done and replacing the head gasket. Basically, it's the head gasket that is causing the oil to get into the antifreeze. But the John Deere guy that they were talking to at the factory or headquarters or wherever told them, flush the coolant, the radiator, put new coolant in, replace the coolant reservoir, see if the oil comes back. So they didn't really do anything under the direction of John Deere, which I'm not very happy about, to see if the oil would come back. Well, guess what? It's back. The coolant reservoir is full of oil again. This combine's got to go back to the dealer now, and they've got to put a new head gasket in it. So part of that is that they will change the oil and filter on the engine, and so I'm not going to mess with doing an oil change right now. However, I am going to change the hydraulic oil filters, the air filters, the fuel filters, the cab air filters, that kind of stuff. So today is actually going to be the day I do that. Since it's too cold to power wash outside, I always like to kind of change that stuff before I'm done washing, so that the dirt that I get out of the air filters, or if I drip some oil on stuff, I can get it cleaned up good while we finish washing. So that's the plan here for this afternoon, is service on the combine filters. So I was just reading through the book to see what all is required maintenance at 2,000 engine hours, and there is quite a lot. This is sort of a major service interval. We need to change oil in a lot of gearboxes that have never been done before, so this is going to be fun. But first thing is to get all our filters out. This is our old office up here, kind of a loft above the shop. You can see out this window, the combine down there. We haven't used it for an office, obviously, since we built our new one. That was back in 2012. But it is pretty good, convenient filter storage and some part stuff. So I'm going to go through here and find anything that's for the combine that needs to be changed and take it downstairs. Well, there's the pile of filters for this machine. Okay, so we have to change oil in those final drives in there. In order to do that more cleanly, let's say, we're going to take these tires off. Otherwise, it's going to drain out all over the floor. So we clean up the floor a little bit. I'm going to pull the combine ahead. We've got an overhead crane to lift the tires, so that's the plan. Okay, well, we got tires off. Did a little cleaning. Drained the oil. Now get the plug back in. Okay, so here's where we're at. I've cleaned up a lot of dirt. I think I've gotten more dirt off the combine with the hose in the shop than I did with power wash the other day. That's okay. Oil is changed in here. We're cleaning up these drives. So the way that this works, basically that's the transmission right there. And this gear shaft drives the final drive, which then obviously turns the tire. So there's some extensions and some splines in there. We're cleaning those up, putting some Never-Seez on them so we can get them apart in the future when we need to. I do need to change this filter yet. And then I think we're probably going to put the tires back on. Okay, so the next step here on the combine is to change the transmission oil, hydraulic oil. It's all kind of one system. According to the book, there's about 25 gallons, I think. So I'm going to go and get our shuttle that we put used oil in, because I don't have buckets for 25 gallons of oil in the shop. So I'll need to be able to empty them. So anyway, I'm gonna go do that. It's cold out here. Should have worn a coat. That was not smart. Oil barrel, tractor's in the way. It's cold. Just to put your mind at ease, if you're one of the environmentalist types, not all of our tractors smoke like that. In fact, I think this might be the only one. Maybe the 4440. But we don't use any of those tractors hardly at all in the fields anymore. Yeah. I don't think all emissions controls are bad, but I think they've gone a step too far. When it starts taking the reliability out of the machines and adds tremendous amounts of the cost, it's no longer worth it. There was a point when everything worked pretty good and it wasn't that big of a deal. We've long passed that. So now we get to deal with our tractors not wanting to run right because of some emissions problem that really doesn't affect the engine running or the operations of the machine at all. Which is very, very frustrating. And we get to buy DEF and throw away lots of plastic jugs and cardboard boxes. Seems reasonable. Okay, so usually we just set this thing in here in the winter when we're changing oils and stuff. Put all our waste oil in there. Although it was getting up, it's all splashed around now, but it was getting up around 200 gallons in that thing, so we're gonna have to do something with it here pretty soon, especially after I change this hydraulic oil. So plan here is to start it draining tonight, just kind of open stuff up and get the bulk of it out and then let it drip overnight. Basically there's a drain plug right there. So we're gonna take that out, put some pails under it and see how much comes out. I'm guessing it's gonna be a lot. Okay, well, we're gonna try this GoPro thing while I'm working. Hopefully get some relatively short clips. How far is the oil gonna spray out of there? Well, that wasn't so bad. Maybe there's not as much in there as I thought. That's only about 3 gallons. Apparently I gotta find some more drain plugs. Alright, well, we'll let that one drain. We'll see what else I can find to take out. Okay, I found a couple more drain plugs that I got to get out. One of them is right here. The other one is under there. Now, how exactly am I supposed to take that drain plug out and catch the oil? It's gonna go everywhere. Literally everywhere. That is frustrating. But we're gonna figure it out somehow. Let's see, can you see up in there? Yeah, there it is. More dirt too. I wonder if I can get a funnel in there somehow. Wedge it in there. That might be my best bet. Okay, so here's my setup. I've got a funnel kind of wedged in there with a hose into a bucket. I was just about ready to take the drain plug out, and I thought, no, there's a pretty good chance I'm gonna get covered in oil here, and that is YouTube gold. So I set up a GoPro camera just so you can watch. But I'm really hoping that doesn't happen. Oh, all right. Well, I'm gonna have to take this stuff off. Get the funnel out of there, put a socket on it, break it loose, and then stuff it back in there. Oh, I'm gonna make a mess. There goes nothing. Oh. Told you. Nothing I can do. Hey, Dad! Come here! Give me some buckets, please. Front of the combine. All right, I guess it's done. Never mind, not as bad as I thought. Did you guys enjoy that? Anybody got any tips for getting oil out of shirts? Sorry, honey. This is one of my better work shirts, too. Dang it. I did the best I could. We got most of it in a bucket, a couple of buckets. And I put down some oil dry to help soak up the rest of it. I'll put some more down here in a second, but it overflowed the funnel and there's nothing I could do. At least I caught that much of it with the funnel, because otherwise it would have all ended up down there. Dumb design. Thanks, John Deere engineers. Well, after that oil bath, I'm ready to quit for the night. Problem is, I got more stuff to drain and I know that it's gonna happen again. So better to do it now than tomorrow morning, right? Next one is that one that's up in there. Let's see if I can be a little bit neater this time. Okay, there is just one more place that we need to drain tonight that's part of the same system. All these places that we're draining right now are transmission hydraulic oil. They all take the same oil, they're all connected. And so the last thing we need to drain is the reservoir here. And it says in the book, there's a drain valve. Is there? There is. Right here. Take a wrench, and if we can put a hose on there, we might be able to drain that all the way down to a bucket somewhere. We'll see. Okay, I found a hose so we can get this down to a pail somewhere. I'm just gonna stick it down through here for right now and try and get a bucket in spot somewhere, maybe underneath, and I'll come back up and open it. Just got a call from my wife. Apparently, Rylan is sick again, which is not good. So I need to get this done and get home so I can help her. And I don't know what that means for tomorrow, but we'll worry about that tomorrow, I guess. Well, this one was significantly better. I didn't spill any yet. It's amazing what happens when they just put a drain on there. You can stick a hose right on it and open a valve instead of having to pull a plug. At least I got one of them right. Well, I got 2 buckets out of there and it slowed down, so I'm going to leave that one there to drain overnight. And I checked my buckets on the front. That one is only about half full or so. So I'm going to let those drain tonight, and then tomorrow morning we'll put plugs back in, put oil back in it. And then we're going to work on this other final drive, taking those tires off too tomorrow. So that is going to be it for tonight. I'm going to go home and take these oily clothes off. Go see what's going on with Rylan. Cuddle with him on the couch probably. Dad has decided that it's cooled off enough today. It's down to, I don't know, mid-20s. That the ground is froze up enough. He's going to go and try chiseling today. Hang on. Sorry, air compressor kicked on. Anyway, Dad's going to go try chiseling. He was replacing some of the points because they were getting, a bunch of them had holes in them, wore out. So we've only got maybe 2 or 3 hours worth of chiseling left in that one field that we were in the other day. And that'll be done, and then we'll see. I doubt we'll do any more than that. So anyway, that's going to be it for today's video. Hit the like and subscribe buttons, and hope you're still enjoying them. Leave me some feedback. I appreciate all the comments that I've been getting, and we'll probably see you tomorrow. Although with Rylan being sick, I don't know if I have to stay home with them. I won't put a video out, and I've got 3 seed trucks coming tomorrow that I've got to unload too, so we'll be back and forth a little bit tomorrow, but that's all right. Jack said he was going to come back, and we'll get that other final drive, put the oil back into this thing, keep working on it. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow probably.